Welcome to Sleeping with Sarah. I'm Sarah Albritton, a narcoleptic comedian, and this is a podcast where I interview people in my bed and we talk about sleep, comedy, and relationships, or lack thereof. I'm happy to be part of the Laugh Factory podcast network. This was my first interview post-election, so we do share our reactions to that, but we also talk about pee, so there's some levity there. I would like to urge my listeners to please donate to the ACLU. You can go to action.aclu.org. For my 37th episode, I interviewed comedian, actor, writer, and violinist Kristin Lundberg. We had a lot of fun talking about hallucinating, art, boring dates, and of course, pee. You can catch Kristen at the Holy Fuck Comedy Hour at Annoyance on December 2nd at midnight. You can also follow Kristen on Twitter and Instagram at Mammy Spanx. That's MAMMYSPANX. And check out her website, kristensfunnyhair.com. You can also catch me at Secret Lies and Alibis on December 6th at Elbow Room at 8:30 p.m. Sleeping with Sarah is brought to you by Audible.com. Go to audibletrial.com/sleepingwithsarah to get a free audiobook of your choice. This week I'd like to recommend The Princess Diarist by Carrie Fisher. Again, that's audibletrial.com/sleepingwithsarah. Please remember to rate and review on iTunes and iHeartRadio. Find out more on the website sleepingwithsarah.com and follow me on Twitter at Sarah Albritton. Well, let's get started with the show. Welcome to Sleeping with Sarah. I'm Sarah Albritton, and I'm here with my guest, Kristin Lundberg.
What's up?
How'd you sleep last night, Kristen?
I slept pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been sleeping a lot better lately. Since I've just been sleeping better.
That's good. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things going on in the world right now that might make people hard to sleep.
Not sleep, yeah. I used to have a lot of trouble sleeping, and I would take, like, melatonin, and, I'll try to, like, light a candle, and, like, spray stuff, and maybe, like, read a book, and try to trick myself into falling asleep.
So you just set a mood for you to fall asleep.
Yeah. Like, I'll spray things and get, like, nice and comfortable. Be like, I'm gonna go... And then be like, you know what, I'm gonna go for a run.
That's funny. Yeah. So what's melatonin exactly?
It's like a dietary supplement or herbal supplement, I think. Melatonin is supposed to, if used correctly, it's supposed to help you dream more lucidly and help you remember your dreams also.
Does it work? And
I haven't experienced that, end of it, like remembering the dreams and dreaming more lucidly. I don't think, but it does help to fall asleep. I do, like, it does help falling asleep, which I think is the hardest part.
That's good.
We need sleep or we go crazy.
I know. Yeah, if you don't sleep for 72 hours straight, you're considered legally insane.
Oh, wow.
Because you start to hallucinate and your understanding of reality bends really easily, so...
Yeah, well, I mean, that's some people normally anyway.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Those would be legally insane people, right?
Yeah. Well, is that, if you take a hallucinogenic, are you legally insane?
Well, technically, hallucinogens are illegal here, so I would say...
Then you're illegally insane.
I don't know about
man.
Man, that's a good question. It'd be interesting if you just questioned all the legal stuff. You're like, hey, is this person legally insane? Now, what if they were given a hallucinogen without their knowledge? Then are they like
legally, or then they're victim insane?
Victimized hallucinogen insanity. I don't know. I think we could question all the insanity laws right now.
Yeah.
Have you ever done hallucinogens?
For sure.
Yeah?
For sure. Yeah. I hallucinated one time a 7-foot-tall transvestite woman carrying guns on either side of, like, a holster. Like a gun holster.
Oh, wow.
And this was in Brooklyn, New York, and I was scared. And my friends are like, that's just a normal person, bro. like...
They weren't 7 foot tall. They were just like 5 foot.
Yeah, I guess they were just... It was just like a normal... I can't remember if I actually hallucinated 2 of them side by side or if it was just one. I think there was multiple. And they were walking down the street just like fierce as fuck, carrying in like in the middle of the street, and like wearing like the most gigantic heel. They might have been like I might have hallucinated them even taller. 7 feet is actually kind of like a normal like tall. For, like, a tall person. Maybe they're, like, 8 feet. They seemed very tall. It was weird. Yeah.
Tall people can be intimidating.
And then it started raining in one place. And this wasn't hallucination rain. This was, like, actual rain. It was raining, like, in one place, like, where we were standing. We're like, no way. And, like, we go inside and we get our friends because we're like, okay, we need, like, another person.
That's not hallucinating to confirm.
And it was like, yeah. And it wasn't, like, a rainy day. Or it was just, like, 3 o'clock in the morning. There's no one around. And then we were like, okay, it definitely is. But we still need, like, more proof. So we, like, sat and watched other people go through the rain. And people would be like, oh. They would, like, look up and look kind of confused and, like, keep going.
I'm sure it wasn't, like, the set of something that just, like, maybe they, like, forgot to take down the set of, like, rain water or something.
Yeah.
You know, like what can they film a lot in Brooklyn? You never know.
We accidentally walked through the set of...
Because I can't imagine it just raining, like...
Yeah.
I just think of a cartoon where, like, a cartoon's weird. And, like, the clouds just following them.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. We're like, it would. It would just be raining on us.
Yeah, of course. Rain on your decent day.
Yeah. And then in the same night, we actually went to, it was me and a couple friends, we went to a tennis court. And this was all, like, I think all the craziest stuff happened like 3 or 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And we went to a tennis court, and we're just like... and I was like, I'm gonna pee in the middle of this tennis court. and then my friend's like, I'm gonna film it. And I'm like, yeah, get the street light coming in from behind me so it'll be like a silhouette of me peeing in a tennis court.
So you did an artistic...
about it.
You did like an artistic video of you, like the slow motion, the like scanning through the you know, the net or something, and then just showing.
Fuck. It's alright.
Oh, what was that? Was that?
that was my cup.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like imagine like this art video fade in on like on complete darkness. I don't know how you fade in on complete darkness. Fade in and it's dark outside. And it's just you see like steam hitting the pavement, and then it's like water, and then pan up and it's like a woman's silhouette peeing, and there's like light shining from behind, and so I don't know. I'm trying to make it sound more artistic than it really was. I peed all over myself. It was like the dirtiest. I hated myself for doing that. I was like, oh, let's make a stupid art video. And I smell like pee. And then these guys that were like also in the tennis court, they were like, we didn't like notice them really at first that they were like even in there. It's a gigantic like tennis court, and they were like in the corner, but they like, I guess they saw me peeing or something, and it was like, oh, let's go talk to these guys. Like, it was me and a couple more friends. We're okay, like, and they came and they were like talking to us, and I'm like shaking his hand, but I have like pee all over my hands.
Oh my god.
And then, like, he had this dog, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this pee on my hand. So I start, like, petting his dog to wipe the pee off my hand. I don't know, maybe.
And just to remind everyone, you were hallucinating at this time.
Yeah, and I was like, no, and I was,
that's crazy.
On illegal drugs. But
that's okay. I don't think the police listen to this podcast.
I was illegally insane.
I like that. I'm gonna start using that.
Yeah. You guys want to get illegally insane. It's something that I've done a few times in my life that I'm not against doing. Mm-hmm. Because, well, obviously, I'm pro hallucinogenics, especially for people who are prone to getting depressed. because I think it's a more long-term solution to depression instead of taking a pill every day. Maybe see what things are like on the other side.
Well, I've heard that psilocybin from psilocybin. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm pronouncing that wrong, too. Psilocybin is supposed to help you with that. And I know some people, and I feel like you do feel better, like, after you take it, like, you feel, happier, or, I don't know, it's just a weird thing. I think it opens
You're not releasing endorphins, per se. There are chemicals being released in your brain, but they aren't, like, you're not going to feel sad from having released all of those chemicals the night before, you know what I mean? So there's not, like, a hangover from that.
Yeah, there's not, like, a drop. It's not like, I don't know, like, what are the kids doing these days? Not like a Molly or an ecstasy or something?
Yeah, it's not like Molly or ecstasy or cocaine where you have, like, or even alcohol, where you feel, like, depressed.
Or even coffee.
Yeah, even
or
coffee,
sugar.
Man.
I went without sugar. I'm trying to
I want some coffee, man. That sounds really good.
I know. We're so addicted to so many things. Whether they're illegal or legal.
Yeah.
But, like, with sugar, I know, like, I got, like, hangover and, like, hangry and, like, just, I don't know, just...
Yeah. Well, sugar kind of induces anxiety. Because what happens when you eat sugar is you want more.
Same with
coffee. You just want more and more sugar, and with coffee too. And with just like carb heavy foods, bread and stuff like that.
And have you heard that, sugar is like 5 times more addictive than cocaine?
I've heard that, yeah. I believe that for sure. And because it's so accessible, you probably like...
And it's allowed when you're a kid, like you can have sugar.
Yeah.
It's not like coffee.
It's like the thing you can have.
Kids aren't allowed to really have coffee or alcohol or smoking or any basically vice we try to keep kids away from doing.
Yeah.
But they probably end up doing it anyways. But could you imagine kids, like, instead of trying to sneak into the liquor cabinet, what if they're trying to sneak into, like, the coffee? They're like, hey, we need that coffee.
I used to eat my mom drank coffee. I used to eat the raw coffee grounds before school in the morning, like, when I was in
what?
School. Yeah. Like, I did get into coffee. But is
that what you thought it was supposed to, like...
Well, I was like... I saw one of my friends do it. And he was like, do this. My friends
used to sneak and eat little sugar cubes.
Sugar cubes?
Yeah.
You would and you would just eat the whole sugar cube?
Yeah.
Like a horse?
Like a horse. Or like get into the cookie dough or something like that.
Oh yeah, cookie dough for sure. Sugar cubes that's intense, man. That's intense.
I was a weird kid.
I can just imagine you just eating a sugar cube and punching a hole through the damn wall.
Yeah.
Like
I was a very weak child, so I wasn't able to do that. I was very small for my age.
I would eat cinnamon. I guess you could say I would cinnamon. I was cinnamoning.
Cinnamoning?
Yeah.
You must have really loved fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did, man. Fall, you could never find me. I would just be hiding in piles of leaves throughout the neighborhood. And my neighborhood had big giant oak trees, so the piles of leaves were intense.
Oh, that must have been nice. Was it beautiful?
It was beautiful, and it's just like smelled really good. Like you can kind of smell it now in Chicago, but like when you're around like a lot more nature, you just like the smell of the dying.
Smell the dying?
Summer carcass. It's just really, really pungent. I like it though.
Do you have a sensitive olfactory there?
Yes, my olfactory sense is impeccable. I'm pretty well. I mean, your olfactory senses are like you remember the most stuff. Like with
it goes directly to memory.
The most like powerful memory sense, I guess.
Yeah, that's why people save old TShirts of exes and bullshit.
Oh, really? Ah.
Yeah, because they smell them. They don't wash them, and they smell them and remind them of the person.
God damn it. I had a T-shirt one of my dear friends gave to me. He screen printed it. And, like, one of my exes, like, he, like, took it. Like, I left it over there. I was like, can I have that back? And he's like, oh, yeah, you know, and then it just never happened. I'm like, motherfucker.
They don't understand the sentimental value. This is why you should learn. Never bring something sentimental over to a significant others.
If you really care about it, just lock it up.
Don't let them have it.
Yeah.
I was saying that, but I have one of my, I think, like, one of my exes from a long time ago. I still have his, like, one of his used to be favorite T-shirts. But that's like, I was in my storage unit recently, and I had thrown that in there because I was just, like, I was getting my winter stuff out, and I found it. I was like, oh, I forgot I had that. He probably misses that shirt. Oops,
you know,
his loss.
Yeah, right. You know what I do with my ex's T-shirts is I'll keep them and cut them up and use them to mop my floor.
That could be a business.
I do it with my T-shirts too.
That could be a business. You could be like, hey, want to get over your ex? Send me all his old T-shirts. I'll make a mop out of it, and then you can just mop the floor with them. That could be funny.
I use them as, like, Swiffer refills.
Was he a dirt bag? Then wipe up the dirt with his favorite shirt from, like, his favorite Led Zeppelin shirt or something.
Yeah, wipe up the dirt with his favorite shirt. Yeah.
I think we got a business going on now.
Yeah, man. And you could do other things. You know, you could shine your car.
Mm-hmm. There's lots of things you could do.
Use it as, like, reusable toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody wants to get into that. I don't know.
Yeah, you could use it as a pillowcase.
I've had to wipe with the shirt before, I'm not gonna lie. One time I was in a bar, I had to wipe with my sock. They were out of toilet paper, and I was like, I'm not. So, it's my sock.
Guys do not understand these problems.
I've got a lot of weird pee stories.
A lot of weird pee stories.
Yeah, man.
See, I'm someone I usually, like, I'm not somebody that usually, like if I have to, like, I don't like to pee in public, you know? Like, I'm someone, it's just...
Oh, okay, you'd rather hold it until you get home?
Usually.
Or at a friend's house?
Yeah, or I'll go to a Starbucks or something, but, like, unless it's, like, a really bad... Like, I've got lots of friends that are like, oh, no, just, like, go to this alley here, you know? And it's like,
Oh, yeah, the alley thing is... Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it worries me.
Better
like,
with a friend. If you're
gonna pee in public, pee with a friend.
Use the buddy system.
Knowing me, I would probably get arrested, like, if I got, like, peed in public, you know?
Like, I dare somebody to try to arrest me for peeing in public. Oh, my God. Something just fell off your wall.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
I just put a bunch of stuff up with,
I would put up the biggest fight if somebody tried to arrest me for peeing in public. Oh my God.
Would you pee on them?
Oh, dude, I would pee on my hand and slap them in the face. I don't know.
Or would you just be like, hey, you want to handcuff me? And just spread your, like, pee all over your arms? And be like, hey.
Yeah. You pee in the backseat of the car or whatever.
That's funny. So you've been how long have you been doing comedy? We started not that far apart, right?
Yeah, I started doing comedy hardcore like 3 years ago when I moved to Chicago. So February will be my 3rd year.
Oh yeah, so we started right around, I started late January of like 3 years. Yeah, it'll be 3 years for me.
Yeah. And then when I was living in Cincinnati, I was doing it there too. I guess I officially started in 2012, but I don't count Cincinnati years as, like, years. I don't, because
nobody counts, like, Ohio, right?
They only have, like, a mic a week, you know what I mean? Like, I was only doing, like, a mic or two a week, and, since, like, 2012, and then, like, in 2014, I'd say 2014, I moved to Chicago, and then I started doing, like, a bunch of mics. But I consider, like, Chicago is, like, it's like the dog years of comedy. Mm-hmm. Because for every year you do comedy everywhere else, for every 4 years you do comedy everywhere else, that's like a year in Chicago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If
like,
you're one
it's
of the,
just like sped up. There's just a lot more.
If you're one of the people that hustles, you know.
Yeah, if you have the drive.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because you can, and I was actually just in New York, and I was surprised at how much time I could get up in New York. That was really great. That's fun. Yeah. They've got a lot of time there, too.
And they also have, like, they have mics, like, during the day.
Yeah, it's really weird. I was like, I went to, like, a 2 p.m. mic, like, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Like,
I would love that, because I have, like, a lot of shows. I haven't been able to hit up as many mics.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to, you know, because it's like after a show, I'll do new material still at the shows and see, but like it's hard. I would love to have more daytime mics in Chicago.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, I know they got a Wednesday day one, kind of like early evening.
Yeah, I think PH. Yeah, I've been in that one a few times. So I like that one.
Yeah, but in New York, there are just some areas that are just so busy that it's just like a bar where they get people to come in and watch, and it's kind of like a mic, but you can just do whatever, you know? Like, they'll have, like, tourists that come in, and there's, like...
Oh, shit.
They've got, like, 6 or 7 people, like, that are, like, audience, but they don't have to... No drink minimums, it doesn't cost anything, but they're just, like, there, and you're basically just, like... doing mic. It's in front of people, so that's interesting, but it's like it's a little weird, but it's like these
people, they probably don't really respect art.
Yeah, probably not. It's a weird thing, I think, but I agree that Chicago is definitely top with that. Did you do sketch and improv before, or?
Not really. The whole reason why I started doing stand-up is because that was all that was available to me. That was like in Cincinnati and Dayton. There was not a whole lot of sketch and improv in Cincinnati or Dayton.
Gotcha. It was all stand-up.
Yeah.
Did you watch stand-up like as a kid growing up, or was it something that you were exposed to later?
Yeah, I would watch. I would actually listen to albums. So I liked Etta Mae and Jim Brewer, and I would watch like Cat Williams, and I don't know. I really like Cat Williams.
Yeah,
yeah. It's like he's like my secret. He's my guilty pleasure. I love watching. I think he's funny as hell. Like if you look at him, he does like a lot of physical stuff. Like he starts sweating. He's working. He's hustling up there. He's working his ass off. I respect that. It's
Robin Williams used to sweat a lot too on stage.
Yeah, Robin Williams.
And I was like, I was fortunate enough to see him live a couple times back at Lake Shore Theater back in the day, and then also he remember what Entertaining Julia that used to be on Sunday nights at this pub around the corner from me. It was just like this little tiny show. It was this little tiny room.
Is that where the Puttabar sisters came up at?
Yeah. And so it was Town Hall Pub, and he came in and did their little, like, just walked in and like did a set there, like. And I remember seeing that. It was like everyone, like, it was this little tiny bar, and like, well, once people heard he was there, like a bunch of people filled it out. But it was like that was a really cool thing that he did.
I love this. I like comedians who have a good talking about getting high story.
Yeah,
and he has a lot of those because he was like a cokehead and everything.
Yep.
So he had. Like, Jim Brewer has a great, like, talking about getting high story. He talks about hallucinogens and his experience on that. And, so, yeah. And Robin Williams, too. And Cat Williams, for sure.
Doug Benson, for sure.
Doug Benson, yes. Yeah. So, I love a good high story.
Yeah.
I have yet to incorporate, like, a really good one into my set. Like, I have a couple of, like, cute one-liners. But I have yet to... I'd say, like, the biggest, like, epic getting high story that I have is when I tried to do a garage sale one time. And I'm not, like, entrepreneurial about, like, selling, like, things. Like, I've never... I don't know. Like, I'm not... You know, I'm an artist. You know, I'm just, like, trying to make art. I'm not, like, a really...
You're not a salesperson.
I'm not, like, a real hardcore... I don't care as much about money as I do the art. Yeah. So, like, me having this garage sale, I'm, like... I have, like, my art and stuff, like, out. Like, I have these, like, giant paintings of ants that I did. And, like, nobody's...
Paintings of ants?
Yeah,
that's really
these,
cool.
Like, paintings of just... It was just, like... It was supposed to be just, like... backdrop for a film I was doing, so I just took these giant pieces of white cardboard and painted these giant ants on them. And I did this like in art school, so everybody else is like doing these realistic paintings of like.
You went to art school?
Yeah.
Oh.
And like people will walk by my studio and see me painting these stupid ants. It's just like you don't understand. You'll see it. It's gonna be cool. Like, trust me, it's gonna be cool. And my teacher's like, okay, it's art school, so you can do whatever you want.
Like, how did they grade at art school? They just like, were you happy with it? Okay, then you get an A.
Well, it's kind of more like, so everything in America is very conceptual based. Like, so you could draw like a dot on the wall, just as long as you're able to articulate, like, this is how I want you to feel when you're looking at the dot, and this is you. And the dot represents this, and it's like some kind of, it's always got to be some kind of like huge concept behind it. Otherwise, I don't know. That's just the American way. In Europe, art's a lot different. They're more acrobatic with the technical skill. They want to see like how well can you actually imitate life with art.
Yeah, America's, I guess if you're a good bullshitter, you could be really good at art.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And there's a play called Art it's a 3-man play. I actually saw it when I was in Europe, and it's about this guy who buys this painting for like a lot of money, like either $10,000, $30,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
It just looks like a plain white canvas.
Okay.
But it's like painted over, like there's other things within it, but the whole thing is like somebody ends up ruining it or something, and they end up like having to replace it, and they're like, well, what do we do with it? It's just like plain white. Like, what's the value of it? Does it really matter? Is it because people put a value on it? I don't know.
Yeah. It's very interesting how people put a value on art and things, because in the end they're worth nothing.
Our art is worth nothing.
Yeah. My favorite was always Jeff Koons. He is a sculptor mainly. He's known for his sculpture, but he does gigantic. His most famous one is like a gigantic balloon animal, like a balloon dog.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's huge. And the scale of this thing is just immense, and it looks like it could just float away,
I love that.
And I'd say that's pass. Like, that's great. That's so cool that you can make something that's so heavy and expensive to make, probably. He probably hired a bunch of people to make it. And all he had to do was like come up with a concept of like this really like light fluffy thing.
That's really cool.
And it's worth, it put a value on it, like it's probably worth like $2 million or something.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Well, there's just a lot of like you see, I collect these little random artsy postcards. Like there's one I have it's of an installation of a dinner party. It's the people at a dinner party, but all the people and all the food and everything is made out of cheesy poofs. Like everything. It's like it's a bunch of people at a dinner party. It's all made out of cheesy poofs.
So funny.
I'm like, that's awesome. Like, I want to live in that guy's mind is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like,
my doctor actually prescribed me cheesy poops.
I actually almost went to art school. I got accepted to SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design.
Yeah, I wanted to go there. They always had the coolest looking brochures they would send out, and I'd be like, I want to go there.
I know. And I visited there, too. I got accepted for a double major in photography and theater. But
nice.
I wanted to go to a school near a big city, so I went to NIU, which is like an hour and a half away.
Yeah. And how was your college experience?
It was good. I mean, I thought it was good because I was far away from home enough, like I was like 6 hours from home.
Yeah.
But I didn't know anybody. Like, I didn't know a single person when I went to college, which I liked because I could basically reinvent myself and be like kind of different,
Yeah.
Like, at this point, I had embraced the narcolepsy. Like, I hadn't quite in high school, but at this point, I was like, yeah, this is who I am. I'm fine with it, I'm weird. And so, like, it was a cool thing for me. And I was in this cool dorm. It was one of the only dorms on campus, but you had to be an art, theater, music, or dance major to live there. Oh. So they put all the weird kids together.
Segregation.
Hey, I'm fine. Segregation with artsy people, creative people, I'm fine with that. Because I could not... I've tried to go on so many dates with like financial analysts and marketing guys and sales guys, and it's just like,
What's that like?
They're boring. They're so boring. They are so boring. They're not funny. They try to be funny.
Do they want to talk about math and stuff? Or
one time...
they probably know better to do that.
Well, one time a guy tried to explain to me how he refinanced his condo. And I was like... But we were at like a really nice restaurant too, and I was like, oh man, if this was not a good restaurant, I might leave.
Yeah.
Horrible. It's a horrible thought.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason. I mean, like, but I haven't dated anybody like that in a while, so like it's like I'm thinking, it's been a while since I've been to a nice restaurant.
Yeah. Gosh, what goes through a person's mind that's like, what kind of decision making has happened when they're like, yeah, this is a good idea to talk about?
I don't know.
I
think some people get nervous.
If you're in real estate, maybe, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nervous that's probably why.
Maybe they get nervous. That's why I usually, like, if they're a decent person and not a complete jerk, I'll usually, like, maybe I'll give them a chance, like, for a second date.
So you're supposed to talk about cool shit. Like,
yeah. like, you're supposed to talk about, like, the time...
Like cars or anything.
Or the time you went to Europe and almost got arrested. Or the time you peed in a tennis court.
Yeah.
Would you ever tell that on a first date?
Absolutely, man. I'm an open book.
Yeah.
Be like, just so you know what you're getting into.
Yeah, I actually think that's good. Like, that's a good way to get started. Be like, hey.
I'm not afraid of anything.
Because I did date one of those guys for a while, and he thought... Because I remember I would say some things that are just me, you know, like I had a weird dream, you know, and I was like, like I woke up one morning, and me and him have been dating for a couple months, so I was like, I had a weird dream that we woke up and you had a sticker on your penis. And I was like,
so
that's pretty funny, but weird. But we were by ourselves, too, in his apartment. He's like, he looks at me, like, so serious. He's like, Sarah, sometimes you don't have a filter. And in that moment, I was like, dude, we are not going to work out.
People still think it's important that you have a filter sometimes, I guess. I mean, sometimes you need one, but when you're,
But I was thinking, like, thinking, your dick's been in my mouth. Like, come on. Like, I don't need to have a filter around you.
Right. No, dude, the day after the election is weird. Like, I had a weird sexual dream. And it was,
oh no! It was
like with a Trump supporter or something.
Okay.
It was like Donald. It was
I was
like
gonna say it wasn't with Trump.
Donald Trump dream. It wasn't with Trump, man. It was like with one of his minions.
Oh gosh.
It was weird. I woke up feeling like weird about it.
That is weird.
That whole night was real weird. Like I spent a lot of time by myself. I think I was just watching the TV too much.
Oh, I was super sad.
I was just like, my eyes were just glued to the TV. I could not. I still can't stop watching and listening. I'm like. NPRs, and I'm like, I don't know, it's kind of fascinating.
It is. I was like really bummed out about it. Like I don't know, I was with my roommate and we were like drinking, and then we're like, we gotta not think about it, so we tried to watch something else on TV, and then we went back to checking our phones, and then we like split like 2 bottles of wine together, and we're just like, and then I woke up hoping it was like a bad dream, but it wasn't. Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of hope that, and I think there still is hope that there's some like investigations going on that'll prevent them to get in there.
Maybe like some stuff going on with the Russians, or who knows, but it's a scary thing, and it's so weird because like I didn't do stand-up for a couple days, and I didn't like get out, and I was like, I don't know what I could talk about other than that, because it's on my mind, and
it's on everybody. It almost feels like you're cheating if you talk about something else.
And it's like I haven't found a way to make it funny yet for me. Like I haven't found. I've laughed at other people's jokes about it. And I'm like, oh, that's clever. I wish I would have thought of that.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to make it funny for me yet, and it's tough. Like,
well, it's like how much do you want it to even really rule you? I think it's just important to say something.
Yeah.
And then maybe move on, go on with your set. But I mean, it does have an undeniable presence. Or like, I almost feel like if you don't say anything about it, you're just kind of like
Yeah, you're ignoring it.
Yeah, like you should. It's our job.
Well, I did go to a protest yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I went to a protest.
That sounds like fun.
It was.
I kind of want to go.
They're happening every day, man.
Yeah, every day. I'll go this coming week. I'll go to one.
It was. I haven't been to one in a while. Like a protest. Yeah. Probably since college, because in college that's what you do. You protest something. That's part of the college experience in America. But no, I definitely, it felt good to protest and be around people. I met so many kids too. I met this girl who was 13. She had been to protests every single day since the election. She's 13. And
wow.
She was there like on her own, like she wasn't like with a parent or anything. She's like that she believed in that so much, and I was like, that's awesome. She's like, I don't know when I'm gonna have time to do my homework. I said, well, I was like, it's like
your homework.
I was like, well, just so you know, you don't have to stay the whole. She's like, I'm losing my voice. I was like, you don't have to stay the whole protest. Even if you go for a little bit, you can go home and finish your homework. It's okay.
Yeah.
But there were so many people, and it felt so good to be a part of that. Although I realize that it does get repetitive.
I feel like I could only stay there for like an hour and then,
Yeah. I mean, the chants are
do my time at the protests.
The chants are interesting. What was it? One of them I thought is, he can't build a wall, his hands are too small. That's what some people were shouting. It's like, they're just some weird things. But I think the tolerance is what was important to show, that people, immigrants are welcome. Like, there was something like that. There was like, something, immigrants are welcome here,
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of sad being at work and like listening to my coworkers talk about it. Like, we're, I'm gonna have to go to Mexico soon, and I'm like, no, stop it. Don't talk like that. Like, there's this one guy I work with. His name is Jose. He's like real short, older Mexican guy. He's a busser, and he is a genius. He is like he studies ocean waves and how they affect and predicting how you could try to like maybe prevent hurricane, prevent all the damage. He studies something with the ocean and the and the waves and like what they mean
for fun.
No, he works with like universities and trying to get studies out, and I don't understand it all. He has a very thick accent. Like, it's hard to understand him in the first place, let alone talk about this like kind of highfalutin thing. But he
highfalutin scientific.
Yeah, man, it's like rules. I mean, he shows me stuff on his phone. He's like, "You comprende?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." He shows me like sketches and just like all these math equations and stuff. And like he's a genius. And everybody at work, they're like, "Yeah, he's really smart. Why doesn't he get a job doing that stuff then?" Well, he doesn't have his papers. Doesn't have a green card. Doesn't have anything. Nothing. So he can't like get a job technically doing that kind of stuff. And so he works as a busboy, but now he's gonna have to go. He's saying that he's gonna have to go to Mexico. He says he doesn't mind going back to Mexico. He's sad because his wife doesn't want to go, but he says that I'm like, well, why would you want to go back to Mexico? Like, why is that okay with you and not with your wife? And he said that Mexicans are like much happier. Americans are like so revolved around money that it does affect our happiness. We don't even really think about it because we're in it. But he sees it from, both sides. So he's lived in Mexico for a long time, and he says that the people are much happier. There's not as much money there, but they're happier. And it, coming from him, like a science super genius too, I don't know, it means something. Like, you're probably right. Maybe we should go. I kind of want to go to Mexico now. Yeah. It sounds great. My mom used to take my baby sister there all the time. I think she was, I don't know.
I think also Mexico is different because they're so close with families there too.
Yeah, family is a lot more important. Here, it's like everybody's trying to sue everybody and get something out of their family. I feel like
or it's like I know so many people that don't. I mean, not that. I mean, I know people that don't connect with their family, or like maybe only see their family like once a year or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm close with my family, but still, like, this situation can also create rifts with family.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is awkward. And you're from Ohio, so that's probably even weirder.
Well, my family is a Hillary supporter. My dad has a crush on Hillary.
He's a crush on Hillary?
I legit, like, I went to, like, after, there was, like, this grace period between, like, when my dad got divorced and when, like, when the kids moved out, and between him getting a new wife. Like, I saw on his fridge one time, he had a picture of him, of Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton on his fridge, and Bill Clinton's face is just, like, scratched out.
What? That's so weird.
So funny. I think he was just trying to be funny. I don't know.
That's funny.
He likes Hillary. And he also got me this shirt when I was a kid. It said, someday a woman will be president. It was a shirt that they sold at Walmart. It had a Peanuts cartoon on it. I forget which one, like the red-headed one.
What's her name? Patty?
Not Peppermint Patty.
No, not Peppermint, sorry.
She was a brunette, I think. Or a black
Was she just called the redhead?
Yeah, she was like a redheaded, freckly girl. And it says, someday a woman will be president. I forget the name of the character.
Is it Cindy? Is it Linus's sister?
That sounds familiar. Yeah, that sounds more right than Peppermint Patty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you think about Charlie Brown, he's just like, he's like an old man. Like, he's balding, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird.
Yeah, it is weird. What's even weirder is when they had that little cartoon, the 3D cartoon of him come out, Charlie Brown. They had like a 3D one. I didn't see it either, but I saw like the trailers for it, and they even like 3D-ized his like hair, and I'm like, ha, that's the most volume he'll ever have. Yeah, I just thought it was funny. But I had this shirt, and I just remember thinking, like, that shirt is like, they took it off of the Walmart shelves. They took it off because somebody complained. And, like, I think they brought it back because they realized, like, oh, we can't listen to all of our dumbass customers. Like,
yeah. I mean, have you ever seen the people of Walmart? Like that just shows what the...
Yeah, it's... I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah, it is a hard time with that.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, I try to be a glass half full kind of person. I'm still trying to think how, but, things could, like, I would even be happy if the Electoral College decided to vote not for Trump, but for a different Republican. Like, if they gave me, like, give me Jeb Bush or somebody that's not gonna, like...
Just bring back...
I don't care.
I never thought I'd say this. Just bring back the Bushes. Just
yeah. Or, like, even, like, Paul Ryan or somebody I don't... Like, Mitt Romney. Give me Mitt. I'd be happy to have Mitt,
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Oh, my God. That would be interesting.
Because they could technically do that. It's really unlikely, but if he continues to, like, be weird, like, he doesn't even want to move into the White House. He's like, I want to stay in New York. And it's like, dude... Like, I think the thing is, like, they should do some kind of psychological test to make sure that you actually want the job if you get the job. The thing is, like, it's not like...
He doesn't even want the damn job.
He's like, well, I want to split time between New York and D.C., and I don't know if I want to really move it. I think the White House is probably less than his standards. Like, it's probably going to be too small for him. He's probably someone walks in the White House, he's like, you know what? I'm used to a much better...
He probably just wants to be home. Which I could understand that.
But every president moves into
You move in a White House. That's what you do.
You don't have to pay taxes on it, like... Well, he doesn't pay taxes anyway.
Yeah. Well, we figured, like, maybe that would be an appeal, though. You don't pay taxes on it.
But I forget. He's like, well, I already don't pay taxes, so... But, yeah, trying to find some... But yeah, he's somebody... I don't know. I don't see him, like, moving in. And also, I can't imagine. I didn't realize he had a 10-year-old son. That's just so weird to me.
I was watching him give a speech after Hillary called and did the, what do you call it?
Conceded?
Consignment.
Consignment. You buy things like...
she bought a used speech. No. Well, after Hillary called him in, I watched him give a speech, and his son is, like, standing next to him while he's giving the speech, and his son is literally, like, he is not holding back with how bored and tired he is. And it's just so funny, like, you hear, like, all the people, all these, like, drunk, like, people in the audience, like, screaming stuff, heckling, what we would call heckling. This kid is just, like, watching them, and it's, like, you could just tell he's learning so much. And then he just, like, gets bored. And, like, you'll see him, like, roll his eyes. You'll see him, like, do some weird stuff with his mouth. Like, maybe his lips are chapped. And he's just like, I'm on national television, but I don't care. And he's, I don't know. The kid was the star of the show.
Yeah.
So
never share the stage with, like, a kid, a baby, or a dog, right?
Yeah,
they will always steal it.
They do not hold back either. Like, you could tell this kid was bored and tired as fuck. He wanted to go home. He was tired of these drunk assholes. He was sick of listening to his dad. Like,
oh, God. I couldn't imagine having him as a dad.
Oh,
but he
man.
probably wasn't around that much, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of a shitty thing to say, but, you know, whatever.
I mean, you got a busy, like, famous dad. You're gonna have, like, nannies. He's probably dealt with, like, a lot of,
yeah. I think it's probably hard for people, like, I mean, probably harder for women too when they have kids if they're well known and that kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, how do you split between your child and your work?
do you ask the guys that much?
No,
you know, like
they
don't. No, we don't.
Yeah.
Amy Poehler, she was a fucking badass. She was the week she was pregnant, she was doing SNL.
Yeah.
And still, you know, with twins.
Yeah.
That's tough though.
Warrior women.
Yeah, I know. I think I want kids, but I used to be for sure, and now I'm like, I don't know. It's a weird thing, like...
The future is like... It's like, do you want to bring a kid into this post-apocalyptic future we're oh, man.
We're living in? It's a weird thing, man. I don't know. I'm a little worried about the healthcare stuff, personally, because I am on Obamacare and I have a pre-existing condition, so if it goes away and then it's like, oh, then I have to marry a boring banker to have health insurance? Like, what do I do, you know? You know, what do I have to do? It's so sad.
You know, doctors can be interesting.
Maybe.
They have to look at people's insides.
That's something I could never do. What's a job you could never do?
What's a job I could never do? Gosh, I don't think I could ever be a person that goes and has a 9 to 5. I don't think I could ever do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've had like desk type jobs before. Like, I used to work as a designer for the paper. I used to work for a toy sculpting company. So
I can see you working for a toy company.
Yeah, and even that, like, I was working on a toy for like 12 hours, and I was looking at the computer. We did like digital. This is like right after this company moved to all digital, and like, I sat down. I got up to use the bathroom, and I sat back down, and I couldn't see the stuff on the computer anymore, and I was just like, I was scared. I was like, I can't see. And then my boss was like, well, stop getting up. And I'm like, what?
Like, you can't get up?
And you like, don't tell me to not get up. Like, I'm sitting at a computer all day. This shit is hard. Like, no, I don't know. And that's when I was kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if this is for me.
Yeah.
I can't stare at the computer all day. I don't know. I used to do it and, like, think, like, oh, this is so cool. But then, like, there came that moment where it was like, oh, you have to get this done. This model, this 3D model has to be emailed to this place in California by this time. And it has to be done. And I get that. And I did it. But that was like, it's like, man, I didn't like getting up to use the bathroom and sitting down and not being able to see. Because I had been staring at the computer too long.
Yeah, I think
that was scary to me, and that people have to do that.
I think people are still trying to figure out a work balance. Because, like, if you think about, like, the 90s, yeah, we had computers, but people were still doing a lot of stuff with paper, still walking around, you're still communicating with people face to face.
Yeah.
And I think we've come into this digital age where everything is done on computers, and it's really not healthy for people to even be sitting down all day. It's not a healthy thing.
No.
Or just, it's not healthy to not communicate with people on a regular basis, like talk to them. Like there's some jobs where people could go in and they could not say a single thing to anybody all day. And like, that's just sad.
Yeah.
You know? I think what we do as comedians, we're trying to connect with these people, and it becomes harder when everybody just connects with everybody on their phone. You know?
That's pretty bad. I don't know. It's harder for me to pick out a job that I would hate to do, because I've already, I've done a lot of different jobs, and there's, aspects that I really like and aspects I really don't like. I'll tell you what I really would like to do is I would like to be a storm chaser.
Oh, I could see as that. That'd be cool.
I think that would be the dopest thing ever. And I love watching videos of storms, and I love watching videos of people freaking out during storms. When we used to have tornadoes in Ohio.
We had tornadoes all the time in Kentucky, too.
Yeah, fucking, they get pretty violent sometimes, and, my mom would freak out, and I liked watching my mom freak out. I thought it was funny and cool. I don't know, it was weird.
Was she comically?
She would get scared. No, she didn't do it. She would get me scared, but I kind of liked being scared. I don't know. She'd be she would have the radio going, and, the windows, she would crack the windows because you're supposed to leave them open. She would she'd be like, hey, get down to the basement, and she'd, start yelling, and, get us all, she would bring down, food and provisions and stuff, for thunderstorms even. If it was, supposed to be a severe thunderstorm, basement.
Yeah.
I always thought it was so, oh no.
well, we had a lot of tornadoes, too, and we had protocol, get the animals, everyone, because we had a basement that, opened out. We had a basement that, opened out and was, it was, a basement on the, one side, but on the, backyard, it opened out,
Yeah.
So, but we had this one little room. We had, 2 little rooms that were, didn't have any windows in them, the storage rooms.
Yeah.
So, if it got really bad, then we'd take all the animals, which was hard because our cat was an indoor-outdoor cat.
So you had to find the cat. You had to wrangle the cats.
Wrangle the cats. Bring them all inside. Then we'd have, a way to do it. But the thing was that I was just people freak out so much about tornadoes in Illinois. It's so weird. It's it's not that big of a deal. It's a big deal when you can hear the tornado itself scream. Yeah. That's when you should worry.
Yeah.
Like beforehand, if it's a watch or even a warning, it's I was driving.
Yeah.
I've been driving home once. I was 16 or 17, and there was a tornado, and I heard on the radio it was going 40 miles an hour, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go 80, and I could see 2 in my rear view mirror, and that was the worst time, as I stopped in a Meijer, and I went inside the Meijer, and everyone was going to the back of the store, so that was the only time I was a little bit scared, because
oh wow,
I legit, I didn't even have a parking spot, I just parked my car in front of Meijer, ran inside, because it's the nearest building I could find, because I was getting worried about that.
Yeah, that's a little worrisome, yeah.
But I think people freak out. I remember going in college, people freaked out about every little thing. It's
yeah.
It's probably earthquakes in LA.
Maybe I haven't actually been in danger yet, and I just kind of like watching people freak out about stuff that doesn't really...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's... But then I feel like I kind of like the danger, though. I would like to... I like looking at the sky and the wind and how it's pushing the clouds. I like watching the clouds, move and how fast they're going. It's oh, wow. We are human after all.
Well, it makes you feel it's an interesting perspective, how much smaller you are to this other big, thing that you can't control.
Yeah. And I like worrying about something different than my everyday worries.
Yeah.
And I like knowing that everyone else is kind of worried about the same thing. It's the imminent doom.
Kind of brings you together in a weird way.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So are you a fan of danger? Do you like roller coasters? Have you gone skydiving or any of that stuff?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've gone on roller coasters. I haven't gone skydiving.
You're probably close to Cedar Point, right? So
I was close to Kings Island growing up.
I've been to Kings Island a few times. I went to that one, yeah.
They have...
the Beast.
Yeah, the Beast. I like that roller coaster. I didn't grow up liking roller coasters. I was really scared of them at first, but then I was oh, it's okay, and now I really like them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like fast cars. I like I like all that shit. Yeah.
You like the adrenaline rush?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. But, yeah, so that's why you think you like storms?
Yeah. I think so. I don't know where that feeling... I don't know where it came from.
Twister? Maybe watching Twister too much? No.
No, maybe. I don't know. You know, I have this very vivid memory of my uncle. We were about to have a big storm, and this was in Piqua, Ohio, so it's like country land. We're about to have a big tornado, something was going down. And he always said that he could tell when it's about to storm because he has a metal plate in his head.
What?
And when his head, like, he could feel the plate, like, from the pressure, because the pressure drops when there's about to be a big storm. The air pressure drops, and I forget what that is, but you can get, like, barometers and stuff that can tell, like, you can get, like, household items that will, like, tell you when there's about to be a storm. Like, there's a, I think that's called a barometer. It's, like, got liquid, and when it's about to storm, when the pressure drops, like, the liquid will start spouting out a little bit, and it'll be like, oh, it's, like, really gonna storm.
Wow. I didn't know. I guess I always had dogs, and they always, like, freak out.
Dogs can sense it, but he always, like, could sense it, and my uncle was, like,
head?
real crazy. Yeah.
Like, crazy, or do you think he was a genius that people just misunderstood?
He could have been, yeah, I would say maybe a little bit of both. He was a farmer. And
what did he farm?
Green beans.
You said that with such disdain. Green beans. Is that like your least favorite vegetable? Or is that what he would always do? Is like, hey, happy birthday, Kristen. Here's a green bean pie. Here's some fried green beans. Here's some green bean gumbo.
Yeah, they had green bean with everything. They would can them and sell them. But he would make, part of my punishment, like if I did something bad, I would have to snap the green beans and string them, like, because you had to string them before you can them.
So your punishment was manual labor?
Yeah.
Illegal manual child labor.
Dude, there was always so many, all of his kids had to string green beans, but, like, especially if you were bad, like, you had to string some green beans.
So just like, hey,
more than usual.
You swore. Instead of putting a coin in the swear jar, you had to fill the swear jar up with green beans.
I didn't even swear, man. I got in trouble for dumb stuff.
Like what?
Like, one time I got in trouble because I drew, like, a fake cut on my leg. Like, I just took, like, a red pen and a piece of paper, and I, like, wetted it, and I drew, like, what looked like a cut, like blood, on the paper, and then I wetted it, and I, like, wrinkled it over my skin, so it looked kind of like real. I made like a prosthetic cut or whatever.
This is a joke.
And I was like, ow, oh my god, like, I hurt myself, and like, my aunt got so scared, like, she freaked the hell out, and I was like, just kidding, and I, like, ripped it off, and she was like, Go to the corner. String some green beans. Can't believe you did that to me. I'm telling your parents, and blah, blah, blah. Like, whatever.
I think pranks are good and fun.
Oh, like, come on. That's one that I don't feel bad about.
Oh, I wouldn't feel bad about that at all.
I don't feel bad. And I didn't then either. I was like, you're being ridiculous.
Were there other pranks that you pulled?
I used to take, my favorite thing to do is, I would take bubble wrap and put it under the rug. Like, and, like, so if there was, like, especially, like, in the bathrooms, like, oh, man, I really gotta pee, and you run into the bathroom, and then you step on a bunch of bubbles.
That's pretty funny.
I always, like, secretly hope that somebody would, like, pee their pants. Because if you're going to the bathroom anyway.
Circling back to pee.
And then you're scared. It's all pee-centric. Sweat. Album name's gonna be.
It's all
nothing but pee.
Nothing but pee. So pee. Where did your fascination with pee happen?
Oh man, I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
I think it is. It is.
It's funny when you see somebody that's gotta pee.
You're just schadenfreude, right? Just taking pleasure in other people's pain, like someone like really having to pee.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty funny. So
I peed playing DDR too much one time.
Oh yeah, Dance Dance Revolution.
I peed while I was standing. I didn't even, and I was like, oh no! You remember Dance Dance Revolution?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, dude.
With the pad.
With the pad. It's like, fuck it, I'm already on a pad.
Were you with people around you?
Yeah, man. My friend made fun of me so hard for so long, and I was embarrassed. I was like kind of embarrassed. She was like, why didn't you, because she kind of like belittled me for it, you know. She's like, how did you not know that you're gonna pee? And I was just like, I don't know, like I was just dancing on this pad for like hours. Like that's what you do.
Yeah,
we were like, it's like an addiction.
It is, and you don't even learn any real dance moves.
This was before the Wii.
The Wii.
I was peeing on DDR
before the Wii. Do you ever think that maybe they thought to call it like the P?
They should have called it the P.
The P.
DDR.
Did you never had issues though, like peeing in your sleep or anything like that? Did you?
No. It was always like on purpose, like awake. If you're gonna pee, do it on purpose. And
be awake.
Never apologize. Just kidding.
I remember when I first started having sex, I was worried, I was nervous that I would, pee on the guy. Like, I would be so nervous that it would accidentally, like, pee, you know?
Yeah.
And
then you gotta pee after, too.
Yeah.
But if you pee before, then you might not have to go after, so you really gotta have, like, the perfect amount of pee.
You really gotta time that out. You gotta time out how much you drink.
Drink a glass of water, like, an hour before, or maybe, and then just pee halfway. I don't know.
It's a weird thing, but I remember when I first started having sex, I was so worried that I would end up peeing on, I don't know why. It was just like a weird thing. It's like, I don't know, like that's where pee comes out.
Yeah, pee on my wiener. Peter wiener.
But
that would suck.
Yeah, that would be weird, right?
I haven't done that.
No, that would be weird. So that's like one thing you haven't peed. One place you haven't peed.
Yeah, no. Well, the other day at work, I was, I didn't pee it. This is a coworker of mine. He comes up to me. Well, my manager comes up to me. He's like, hey, can you take care of the front real quick? Sarah had a problem. And I'm like, what was the problem? He said she peed her pants. I'm like, what? I'm like, we have to wear stockings. We have to wear like tights.
Oh, this is at your current job?
Yeah, this is at my current job. We have to wear like tights and like a suit jacket. No, just imagine like her peeing.
And just like rolling down.
I'm like, no way did she just like stand there and pee. Like, come on.
I wonder if old people that like have the diapers on, they just like stand and just pee random. They're just like,
I don't know. Even with the diaper, I'd feel like I'd have to go somewhere. I don't know. I feel like the diaper is more like for protection in case it happens. Like if you laugh too hard.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of wish that, you know, they should make comedy diapers.
Comedy diapers? Hey, you know, you're going to see a show. It's going to be so funny. You might pee. So underneath your seat is a little comedy diaper for you.
Yeah. That's it. We just don't want to get our furniture fucked up.
Oh, come on. They're comedy clubs. Come on. They're dirty as it is. Way dirtier things.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you talk about pee much in your comedy, do you?
No. I've never talked about it.
This much? Ever?
It might be, I might be a little, well, maybe because it was embarrassing when I peed on the DDR pad.
This was in front of a friend?
Yeah.
Yeah, just one though, right? Not a bunch?
Yeah, it was just one.
Okay, good. Because it could have been bad. It could have been like a Mean Girl scenario where it's like one friend, but it was like a new friend, and then she told all of the other friends at school, and it got weird.
Then she did tell all the other friends.
Oh, that's mean.
Everyone knew about it, and then so the only way that I felt that I could redeem myself is if I peed on purpose more. So like, no, I really mean to do this. So like, so think of like, I think that maybe it's like the same psychology that Trump supporters have. You know what I mean? Like, you do this horrible, embarrassing thing, and the only way you can come up from it is, like, you stand by it hardcore and keep doing it, right?
Oh, ooh, yeah.
That's kind of like the psychology I think I was going through. And I think it might be the same psychology for Trump supporters.
Yeah, they're just like people that can't stop peeing the pants.
Yeah. I wish that's what it was.
Oh, man.
I wish that was the problem. I wish that, man, I wish that people were like, man, these Trump supporters think it's cool to pee the pants.
I would rather be around people on a regular basis where half of the country was just peeing their pants all the time than have Trump be our president. Like, that's what I would rather have.
Right?
I'd rather be around people.
Because pee pisses me off, too. Like, when I smell it and it's other people's pee,
gross.
It makes me mad. So, I mean, it's just as much anger you're stirring. Just do that, please.
Yeah, please pee.
Just do.
What if there were pee protests that people would do? Like,
yeah, no pee, no more pee.
Oh, that would be weird.
Save pee for the toilet. Not my pee.
Everyone's pee is welcome here.
Not my pee. Yeah.
Only pure American pee.
We don't want people peeing.
Only you're allowed to pee wherever you want, but it's got to be pure American pee, 100%.
American pee. Don't pee off of no sake. Don't be peeing off of no Mexican Cokes.
Don't pee together with another woman.
If you are in another country and you are coming into this country, you better pee beforehand.
At least that's one fun way to look at the situation.
Yeah.
Well, as we're winding down, I usually ask people, because we talked a little bit about dreams and sleep, like, super briefly earlier.
Yeah.
But, like, what are your dreams for the future, for yourself?
Well, I have been thinking a lot lately about what kind of RV I want to live in when I move to California and sleep on the beach. And then I've also been thinking about training my cat to go outside. Take her on walks. I kind of want to take or maybe not take her on walks, but I kind of want to take her, like, I don't know, I want to have, like, a cat party, like me and, Pobs. Yeah. I want to take my cat over to Pob's house.
Oh, her kittens are so cute. Her kittens are so cute.
I don't know. These are some weird dreams I'm going, but, obviously this is, the van thing. I want to, living in a van down by the river, I want to do that so I can not have to pay rent anymore and live more, maybe efficiently when I'm in California doing comedy.
Yeah, that might be a trend, Madeline Deal, she's doing that.
She's front woman. She did it, and I am going to pester her to death with questions. I'm already asking her questions. I can tell she is just, like, always being asked these questions, but I don't care. I'm serious. Like, I think I would, I don't like paying a slumlord. And with the way things are going right now with society, things are becoming a lot more DIY / artisan, like, based. It's like, you think about when we were cavemen, we all started out as artisans, right? We all had to make our own tools.
We all drew on the walls.
We all drew on the walls, yeah. We got our own food, and then everything turned into consumerism, and then, like, post-consumerism. Like, everything's just buying ready-made things. But now we're kind of shifting back into that DIY, like,
people that want to live
drive your own Uber, but then it's like also there's like a mass overhead looking over that, but you could drive your own Uber and like Etsy and those websites where you can sell your own stuff. I don't know. Yeah. I just think it's time. I think it's time we become more self-sufficient with housing too.
Yeah, like I see those like little housing movements and things like that too, where people use like very little things. I'm not sure if I could live in that small of a space. But.
Well, I mean, I looked it up for hours one night. It kept me up. This was like one of my insomnia bouts. I was looking at tiny houses and how you can make them. You can buy shipping crates. Shipping crates that are like gigantic. I mean, they're narrow, but they're long, and people live in those. Sometimes people stack them together stack them on top of each other and have like an upstairs, downstairs.
What?
You can put them next to each other. Shipping crates, and they cost. You can get them. They're expensive to ship, obviously, but you can get them for like a few $100. And just
like, how big are they?
And they're made out of metal. And
like,
it's just you're buying a gigantic metal box, and I'm like, great.
Oh, you mean like you mean the shipping crates like out of shipyards, like those kinds of ones?
Yeah.
So those are pretty big.
Yeah, there are people that live in those. There's all kinds of
people that live in tree houses. There's an Airbnb where you could stay in someone's tree house or something. Yeah. So all this stuff. I'm not sure. Like, I kind of like the more traditional. I mean, like, I don't know. I read one time I watched one of those TV shows and someone had like they lived on a train, right?
Oh.
But like they would ride it, like, I don't know what they could, because they weren't technically on anything. Like, their train would go to different places and then they'd take it off the track and then they could stay, but they wouldn't have, like, he had Wi-Fi and he had like it was just like a 2-train car or whatever. Like, it was like a train car. It wasn't a full train. It's like a train car. And
that sounds so cool.
And he didn't have to pay, like, taxes or anything because he technically didn't live on any land. And, like, it was like...
I love that. See, I love that.
Because he could still travel. He could travel his house as long as there's railroads.
Yeah.
But it's a very weird thing. And people, like, live on boats and stuff. Like, my brother, he wants to live on a boat for a while. He wants to, like, travel the world on a boat with his wife and their kids someday. They don't have kids yet, but...
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's cool, but I still want to be somewhere where I can, like, do comedy and be around people.
Yeah. Like, have a permanent,
something.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want... Yeah, like, when I'm talking, like... Because rent is so expensive in LA, and I'm like, there's got to be another way.
It's not that much more than Chicago.
Yeah, it's not... It is kind of... It's a little more. It is a little more, though.
It's a little bit more, but...
It's like in between New York and Chicago.
It's not nearly as expensive as New York, so...
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like LA. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Yeah, but it's... Yeah, so you want to go to LA?
Yeah, I want to move to LA. Or New York, wherever the wind takes me. I would rather just, like, keep it open right now. But I think I prefer the ecosystem that LA has to offer. I like mountains and I like nature. New York doesn't have a lot of that. Not nearly as much.
And weed's gonna be legal there pretty soon.
It is there. They just legalized it.
Well, it won't be technically legal for like a year, but...
What, in California or New York?
Till like 2018.
Oh, really?
California. Well,
well,
recreational, but it's basically legal there anyways, but...
Yeah. Okay.
That's one good thing that came out of the voting.
Yeah.
Massachusetts, California, some other state I'm forgetting about. Maybe Alaska? I don't know. There's like 3 places. Nevada, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, so I want to move out to California. I think because I want to be on TV. I want to be on like national. I want to be on a TV show.
That's great.
I want to be like in a sketch comedy TV show. You know, a sketch TV. You know, something. Yeah. Or SNL. Mm-hmm. You know, but SNL's in New York. But I think it would be easier to get on TV than it is to get on SNL.
Yeah.
So LA. I don't know. I just had an audition for America's Got Talent yesterday.
Oh, congrats.
It was kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they had a couple... I went through a couple of cuts. I got through a couple cuts.
That's good.
Yeah. I didn't have to stand in line. That was neat.
Yeah.
The line looked...
annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, they have people who just, like, dress... You see, like, people... I saw a girl with, like, a gigantic, like, dragon face tattoo. And she was, like, in a prom dress. I'm not sure what her talent was. There was a guy who was, like, dressed up like Uncle Sam or something, like an old dude. It's like, people come in there with, like, a lot of costumes and gimmicks and stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of made me feel weird, like, I didn't have, like, I don't know. But then again, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't think that, I don't know. You want to look at how much legs the act has, too, you know?
Yeah, and how that could be longer. It's not just
about that, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
That costume or whatever.
Oh, good luck with that, man. I know a few people that have done that, so it's
yeah.
Yeah. Jacob Williams and Adam Grabowski, who I've had on
Were they on the show?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Jacob did it a few years ago. Adam did it this last June. But yeah, it's a process. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he said it was hard because, like, you have to, like, write out exactly what you're going to say. And unlike stand-up where it's like, hey, you feel like the crowd's not feeling you, can't change up your act because you already agreed because it's live or whatever.
Yeah.
And you got to be super clean, which is hard.
Yeah. I've had to do that before for submitting for some places.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's a cool opportunity though. I think that's awesome. You know, you get so many people like watching and that, so yeah. Good luck with that. Yeah. So you want to be on TV and have your own sketch show
or be on a sketch or be on, you know, not like a sitcom. I don't know. I don't think sitcoms. I think sitcoms are kind of falling out.
Well, I think what you determine sitcom, like I mean, technically, you know, like
Big Bang
TV. Theory. Or like Broad City is still technically like a sitcom. It's not a drama, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I would consider that like a sketch show.
No, that's a scripted show. It's not I don't think it's sketches. That's a I don't know.
They started out doing sketch stuff, and then you know they got a little bigger, and now they have to answer to people or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta always, once you get bigger, you always gotta answer people, which kind of sucks. Until you get big enough where you make all the rules, and you're like, nope.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I think your goals are pretty cool, so good luck with everything.
Yeah.
We always, and thanks so much for doing the podcast.
No problemo.
We always end with saying good night.
It's been the most comfortable podcast.
Oh, that's always good to know. Yeah. We always end by saying good night and going to sleep. So good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thanks for listening to Sleeping with Sarah, where I slept with Kristin Lundberg. You can catch Kristen at the Holy Fuck Comedy Hour on December 2nd. Follow her on Twitter at Mammy Spanks and check out her website, kristensfunnyhair.com. This podcast is part of the Laugh Factory Podcast Network. Please remember to subscribe and rate and review on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and SoundCloud. This podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Go to audibletrial.com/sleepingwithsarah. I'm releasing a new podcast each week. Be sure to tune in to find out who I have in bed with me next. Thanks to Josh Bryant for the music. You can view more on sleepingwithsarah.com, and please follow me on Twitter at Sarah Albritton. Until next time, good night.